equivalent.
The question is the handout in the group, which I've shared in the group, Maria. Check the handout in the group. So I read. It says, so Maria, I hope you are there. The following balances were extracted from the books of Ujuzi Sacco Society Limited as at 30th June 2020. So
ليش تعدون للقاس قبعت هاي كلتو محاسبة درس سخنة كوسا حني
So I've just muted everyone. So the balances, as you can see there in that schedule, the balances as you can see in the schedule there. Additional information, audit fees of 613,650 exclusive of 16% VAT and supervisory fee are to be provided for. The management committee has proposed the payment of honorarium amounting to shillings 100,000. Staff salaries amounting to shillings 350,000 had not been paid as at 30th June 2020. Members are to be paid a dividend at the rate of 10% per share. Interest on members' deposit is to be provided at shillings 607,500. Required. So we are required to prepare income and expenditure statement for the year ended 30th June 2020, appropriation account as at 30th June 2020. Also, we are required to prepare the statement of financial position. So let's start with the income and expenditure statement. So this is called Ujuzi Sacco Society Limited. So right there, Ujuzi Sacco. They are calling themselves Ujuzi Sacco Society Limited. Income and expenditure statement. For the year ended so you can have that one there. Remember, this is accounting for cooperative societies. So we can start with income. Meanwhile, we are working in shillings. In shillings. So income. Income, you can pick them from the credit side of the trial balance. Income will always appear on the credit side of the trial balance. So we have dividend from investments. So dividend from investments. That is 47,400. There. Then we have accrued rent, that is not an income. Sundry provision, no appropriation, no revaluation, no statutory, no. There is entrance fees So entrance fees, we have entrance fees of 30. Then we have members deposit. Members deposit is not an income to the SACCO, that's a liability. Share capital, no sundry, no bank, no interest on loans to members. So interest on loans. So interest on loans is 3,588,930. Then there is nothing. So those are the only income we have. Kindly add. Can you add and give me the figure, please? Those are the only income we have in this question. So Linda, you are getting 3,666 or 3,666, 330. Then we go to the expenditure. For those who are not there in the previous class, for SACCOs, it is ideal to classify the expenditures according to their functional heads: administrative, finance costs, members' expenses, committee expenses, EVO. So we start from top. The top will give us how to group them. So let's start from top. Expenses are on the debit. The first one, we have traveling expenses for staff. So we come and say staff costs. So staff costs. Staff costs. So you bring all the expenses which were incurred by the staff. Remember, we can form a SACCO right now, all of us. Then we employ staff. They become the most boring people. They just eat the money of the SACCO. We contribute monthly, they eat. So we need to know which is the part in this society which is eating our contribution. So staff cost, we have traveling. Traveling expenses, 80/30 in the first column. In the first column. Then from there, committee, bank, salaries and wages. So salaries and wages. Salaries and wages, the one which we have been given is 228,600. But there was accrued salaries and wages. Check note number 3, additional information number 3. Check the additional information number 3. Staff salaries amounting to 315 had not been paid. So you add 315. So what do you get? 288 plus 315. What do you get? You are getting how much? 543,600. 543,600. Good. We proceed. There is nothing for staff anymore. Those are the only 2 expenses for the staff. So add the 2. Bring it here. How much? 80, 30 plus 543, 600. What will you get? That totals to how much? 551, 630. 551, 630. Thank you. Leave it hanging there. Then we go to the next expense from top, where we started. There was traveling for staff and committee. So bring committee expenses. Hawa kwanza ndio wanapenda kukula pesa ya sako. So committee expenses. So I want us to bring all the expenses which relates to the committee. All the expenses which relates to committee. The first one is traveling. Traveling. Traveling expenses. So traveling for committee is 10,050. 10,015. Look for any other expense which relates to the committee. Downwards, bank salaries, committees, education. For education for the committee, we have committees education is 100,000. Next, committee sitting allowance. So sitting allowances. 500. Printing annual members, entertainments, nothing there. Audit management, committee has proposed honoraria. Honoraria becomes late. Honoraria become appreciation. You cannot appreciate people when you are not aware whether you will have surplus or deficit. So honoraria will come later during appropriation. Members, no interest, no. So to the committee, these are the expenses. Can you add those expenses? Give me the answer. The answer there, 221, 515. 221, 515. Next, we are proceeding. Let's go back to where we started. After traveling staff and committee, there is bank charges. Bank charges and bank interest, we bring them under the finance costs. So you say there finance costs. Finance costs. You bring those two. The two is bank charges. Bank charges. And we have bank interest. Bank interest. So this is 20, 80, 500. 20, 80, 500. That is 100, 500. To the far end. There are only two. There are only two. Good, we proceed if there is no issue. After bank, salary done, committee done. Printing and stationery, let's take it to administrative. So admin expenses, administrative expenses. We have printing and stationery. For printing and stationery, printing and stationery, 111, no, 205. There's many other administrative hapa. Here too. So 205. Subtract. Very good. Then after printing, we have annual stock special general meeting. Who meets at the AGM? Members. All the members comes to the AGM. So that is members. So members expenses. Members expenses. Wanasema committee wamekuwa wakikula pesa yetu kama sako. Sisi pia tunaenda kukula kwa hiyo AGM. So members in the AGM, let me just call it annual general meeting, 50,000. 50. Members education. So education. Members education, 150. Correct? Entertainment. Yes, you are entertaining members. After education, wameelezewa kwenye sako nini unafaa usave. Watu wakimaliza wanaweka ngoma, watu wana dance. So entertainment. Entertainment. 5. Correct? Legal fees, no. Cut, no. Mpaka chini hakuna. The notes, audit, no. The management committee proposed, no. Staff salaries, no. Members are to be paid dividends baadaye. Interest on members' deposits is to be provided. Yeah, interest on deposits. So interest on deposits. Interest on deposit 607, 500. Add. Yeah, two. Kindly add. I don't see anything remaining for members. Unless there is something you are seeing, you can bring to my attention. Otherwise, Sioni. So add for me that. So that is 812,000. Next, I think we're just remaining with one. The one remaining is Ligani students. Nimeona hapa sahihi. Hii akina legal fees. Yes, this one of legal fees. Let's call them professional. Professional expenses. So professional expenses, we shall capture the legal fees. So we capture the legal fees. Legal fees is 40. Legal fees is 40. Then note 1, additional information number 1, there was audit fees. So audit fees, they said exclusive of 16% VAT. Yes, audit fees, all professional services are subject to VAT. So take 613, 650 times 1.16. You know, 16%, it will be at 116 when you make it VAT inclusive. It will be at 116%. 116% is 116 over 100, which is 1.16. So to get the figure VAT inclusive, Linda, it is the one you saying 812 of America figure like it out. No, you guys. So 7. Now this one here, I'm told is 500. 712 500 Linda. Then this other one, Jen, 711 711, 834. That is VAT inclusive. VAT inclusive means you have captured the VAT part of it. Then they said, and supervisory fee are to be provided for. The supervisory fees. Supervisory fees was not to be provided for, like hawajasema ni ngapi. So in the event that the supervisory fees to be provided, I gave you in the notes, we should take it as a percentage of what? And what percentage, niandike hapo, what percentage of what? We wrote it somewhere in the notes. If they are giving supervisory fee, it should be what percentage of what figure? Or of what? Niambie hapo. Yeah, 20%, Maria, 20% should be statutory reserve. So it should be 10%, we already said 10% of audit fee exclusive of taxes, yes. So it should be 10% of what you are paying the auditor, 613, 650, exclusive tax. So that will be 613, 65. Kisha, there is no any other expense there. So can you add for me the total of supervisory fee? Maria, 20%, I hope umeona. 20% is for statutory reserve. 20% is statutory reserve. So thank you. So how much is the figure when you add? When you add the total professional expenses, it comes to how much? 813, 199. 813, 199. You subtract. There is nothing. Most probably, I'm seeing you reporting a surplus. So surplus for the year. Surplus for the year. How much surplus are you reporting? So take the total income, subtract all that. And also, I'm giving 10 minutes break. Kuna mtu ameni inbox for prayers. Our Muslim sisters and brothers, mtu ameniambia anataka kuomba. So let's meet at 6. Let's say 6:40. 8 minutes ameniambia is enough. 5 to 8. So give me the surplus, then we take that small break for prayers, then we continue. So how much will be the surplus? 366, subtract all that. Ndio tukikuja tuende round 2 of the question. How much is the surplus? Miriam? Honoraria, yes, as you give me the figure, allow me to answer, Mary. See Marianne, Marianne, honoraria, what is honoraria in the first place? Mostly, honoraria is appreciation. is abbreviation, either to staff members or key managers or whoever in the company for the good work which they have done for the organization for the entire period. So my argument and the professional argument, you cannot come and appreciate people here before even you determine whether you have surplus. I can only appreciate you when we have surplus. So the honoraria issue will go to appropriation. Unajua appropriation sasa ni tunagawana akina dividends nini. So before we give honoraria, let's get the surplus first. So honoraria will go to the appropriation account, which is the required Roman 2. So thank you. I hope you have understood Marianne Ibrahim. So people are getting 930. Huh? It's so different. What answers the different? 961. 961. 961. 986. 986. Correct. So we have done the first phase 1 of the question. So take the, let's meet at 6:41. Take the 6 minutes break for the prayers, then we come back immediately. So let me pause the recording. So appropriation, you need to tell us your surplus venye unaigawa. So you will start with appropriation balance at the beginning. So appropriation balance brought down. So check the schedule. Hii ni kama ile mnaitanga retained earnings. It's like the retained earnings. So check the balance at the beginning. So balance at the beginning should be on the credit. Appropriation. Please check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4 from top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 604, 500. So this is 604, 500. Then there is surplus for the year. So you add surplus for the year. Surplus for the year. Surplus for the year, we got 9. Wait, ilikuwa 9 what? 961. Let me just check the figures you gave me up here. Yeah, 961. 961. 986. So add the 2. Add and give me the answer. Can you add those 2? Add those 2. When you add the 2, what do you get? You get 1566. 1566, 486. Now, the first thing before you start making people happy in form of honorarium and dividends, you must transfer 20% of the surplus, the one you are talking about, the 20%, 20% of that surplus should go to what we call statutory reserve account. So you less transfer. It is a provision for SACCOs. Transfer to statutory reserve account. So 20% of the surplus for the year. Surplus for the year is 961,986. This one, not the total, only for the year. So what is 20% of 961,986? Somebody? You get 19. So one, got once. 192. 397.2. So you eliminate it from there. How much is remaining? We have started appropriation. So 1566 minus that one there. What will you get? What do you get? What do you get? When you subtract, you get 13,740. $88.8. From there now, you can pay those honoraria, then you pay dividends. So less honoraria. Honoraria was check note number 2, 100,000. So how much is remaining? 12,7 like that, 088.8. That is what will remain. Pay them dividends. So less dividends, dividends kindly check note number, audit fees, the management, dividends, check note number 4. Members are to be paid dividends at the rate of 10% per share. So 10% times share capital. Share capital, check in the schedule on the credit side. It should be on the credit side. Here you go, nimeiona 6465. That is our share capital. If you check the trial balance, you will see it on the credit side. So this one will be 646,500. Therefore, what remains is the balance carried down. It is over. Appropriation is over. Balance carried down. How much? How much will remain as the balance carried down? Balance carried down will be how much? $627. Okay. 627. 588.8. We are done with that. That is how we prepare appropriation accounts. Unless someone has an issue, we are done with that. And we're supposed now to go to the statement of financial position. Very good. Very good. So let's go to the statement of financial position. So right there, ujuzi circle, hiyo story yote. Andike hii balance sheet yako. So we kick off. So non-current assets. Non-current assets. Hebu tuanzie huku chini tukipanga huko juu. Office equipments in the trial balance. Office furniture and equipments. So furniture and equipment, 90,000. Investment in, I don't know what. Investment in Kenya to do what? So that is 2,115. Then there was also investment in CIC. Kindly check. Apogee. CIC, I'm seeing 540. Which other one can be there? I don't see any long-term assets unless loans to members will be current. Kuna, can you add? Add, please. What do you get? Olivia? 2,745. Current assets. Current assets. Current assets, we have receivables. We have receivables, members. So receivables we have from members. Members is 268,500. Non-members. Non-members, 2,250. 2,250. Then there is loan to members. Loan to members is an asset to the SACCO because members will pay back those loans. 97,524. Then we have Cooperative Bank Limited Saving. So Cooperative Bank Savings 240. 240. Then Cusco Deposits. Cusco Deposits, we have 438. Cusco is the SACCO for SACCOs. We go up here. Cusco is just a cooperative society, not for individuals, but for other SACCOs. Cash in hand. Cash in hand, 54. I'm seeing nothing. Unless you spot one, which maybe I have not seen well. Help me with the current assets, total of the current assets, these ones. How much is the current assets? Please. Olivia's getting. Olivia be using commas to separate the figures. So that is able to make commas. 100, 774, 500. 100. Be using commas. 100, 774. Yes, 500. If that is okay, then add the two. Current plus the non-current, so that we get the total assets. So how much is the total assets? Total assets. Total assets. 103, 519, 500. 103, 519, 500. Correct. Then write for me there, equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. So please, before we go to the equity and liabilities, there's something I've noticed here, serious, there are so many items here which are accrued. Bringing all of them in the balance sheet will not make much sense. So I want us to collect all the accrued expenses. We add them together. Yes, we add them together. Then in the balance sheet, we just bring accrued expenses. There are so many. So have an outside working before we start even equity and liabilities. Outside, leave space for the equity and liabilities. You can do your workings handle. So call it a working accrued expenses. Is a liability, and I've seen there are so many. Capturing them one by one will not be sensible. So let's start with note 1, additional information number 1. Audit fees of this and supervisory fees are to be provided. When examiners say are to be, they are not paid. So audit fees, it was how much? VAT inclusive. It was 7 what? Remind me the thing, audit fees including the VAT. It was coming to how much? 7 something there. 7 something. 711,834. 711,834. Then supervisory fee. Supervisory fees was coming to 61365. Yes, we're coming to that one there. Then number 2, the management committee has proposed the payment of honoraria. Proposed, they have not paid. So honoraria, they have not paid 100. That is also accrued. Staff salaries amounting to this had not been paid. So staff salaries not yet paid 315. Members are to be paid dividends. Proposed dividends. Proposed dividends. Proposed dividends, 10% of the share capital. We calculated and we got 6465. 646, 500. Note number 5, interest on members' deposit is to be provided. Accrued interest, 6 or 7, 500. Bufika hapo kwanza. Go to the trial balance. Number 2 from top. Number 2 and number 3. Accrued rent. Accrued rent. 495. Sundry provisions. Sundry provisions. This is 892. So all these are accruals. So you see, capturing them in the balance sheet one by one, it acquire a waste of time. So give me one figure for that. Give me one figure for the accruals. Good, so people gave me 3, huh? Hiyo kweli? Oh, yes. 3829. 3829. 699. Hizo accrual zimekuwa mingi hivyo. So those are the accrued expenses. Please, I'm going to delete them because I need that space. So allow me to delete that. It was just a working power. So let's start with equity. Equity will be appearing on the credit side of the trial balance. Iko wapi hiyo handout yangu imepotea? So we have share capital. Their capital was 6,465. Then we have, what else do we have? From top, appropriation accounts. Let me bring now the other side. Appropriation account. Appropriation account, please give me the balance carried down. There's a figure we got, balance carried down when we were doing appropriation. How much was it? I can't recall that figure at all. Check your appropriation account, our required Roman 2. What was the closing balance carried down after we appropriated everything? We remain with Ruth, 627, 627, 588.8, 588.8. Then we have revaluation reserve. Revaluation reserve. Revaluation reserve, we have 75. Statutory reserve. Statutory reserve. Statutory reserve, remember there is money we topped up. So the balance which was there was 1374 plus the amount we transferred. How much did we transfer to statutory? Let me say, transfer to statutory. How much did we transfer? You have the figure. So you are in a position to help me with the answer. Check your appropriation account, the amount which we transferred to the statutory. $192, yeah, 192, 397, 397.2. Yes. So can you add to determine the total of statutory? How much? 1374 plus 192. What will you get? People are getting 1566. 1566, 397.2. There is nothing remaining for equity. So can you add for me those equity? Starting with share capital. So share capital plus those other three, then you give me the total. Chapter. 8733 986. Thank you. Current liabilities, members' deposits. Member deposits, mtu anasema anataka pesa yangu, sitaki hiyo sako yenu. So that is always a liability to the circle. We'll look for it. Members' deposits is 90 million. 90 million. Accrued expenses, the one you calculated, accrued expenses, how much was it? It was 3 something. 3 what? The accrued expenses. You gave me the figure some few minutes ago. All the accruals. It was 3 something. 3829. 3829. 699. Correct? There is bank overdraft. I think that's the last one. I saw bank overdraft somewhere. Bank OD. So bank overdraft is 615. Yes. Can you add for me the total current liabilities? Current liabilities, add for me the totals. Sundry creditors, hatukuweka pale. Okay, yes. So sundry creditors, thank you for seeing that. Sundry creditors, let me look for it. Sundry creditors, where are you? $340, $815. Yes, $340, $815. Thank you. So add. 94, 785. $514. It is balancing with our total assets. Maria, yes. So it means it is 103, 519, 500. Thank you. Yeah, that is done. That is done. Unless someone has a question. What they're likely to ask you about cooperatives, in theory, are the characteristics of a cooperative society, then the issue of standardized accounting system. What is standardized accounting system in cooperative societies, and what are the objectives and limitations of the standardized accounting system? So in theory, mostly those two, let me say three: the characteristics, the objectives, and limitations of standardized. You have them in the notes I gave you. Then computation, just follow those two questions which we have done, then you are good to go. So for now, allow me to take you to the next issue. Class is ending at 9 p.m. So Maria, jikaze kabisa. Jikaze kabisa. Accounting for professional firms, a new topic. Okay, got it. Wow. So accounting for professional firms in the new syllabus, they are checking on lawyers, accountants, doctors, and engineers. So if you check your custom syllabus for the professionals, we are restricted. We are restricted to those ones there, those four. Lawyers, genuine lawyers, not fake lawyers, genuine ones. Accountants, doctors, and engineers. Nothing much. Let's write something small in that topic. I would like to work for professionals. Nani wako na pesa mingi kwa watu wengine? Of these four, who has money than others? Joshua, wachana na hiyo maneno kabisa. Hiyo maneno wachana nayo. Hiyo usiulize. Let's proceed with this one. So Maria is saying kwenye wako na pesa mingi hapa ni engineers. Okay. Followed by engineers, followed by lawyers. Where are you putting us? Are we number last? So hiyo trend umechukua, wacha tuende kwa notes. Right there say professional firms are regulated anyway. The people with money here, number one ni hao. This is number one, number two ni hao. Number three, hiyo wachana nayo. Doctors wako na pesa mingi sana kushinda hata lawyers. A doctor will not miss to diagnose you, provided you have said you are sick. Professional firms are regulated. Professional firms are regulated by their professional bodies. We are writing, professional firms are regulated by their professional bodies. By their professional bodies, which provides guidelines. Which provides guidelines on how to prepare. Guidelines on how to prepare and maintain. How to prepare and maintain books of accounts. Maintain books of accounts, including clients' accounts. Including clients' accounts. Including clients' accounts. Full stop. Terminologies, there are some terms we must familiarize ourselves with. Terminologies. So terminology number one is work in progress. Work in progress, that is WIP, as we'll call it most of the time. WIP. So Andrew is requesting that I repeat, and to that effect, napiga hii kitu picha na watumia, because it is less than a page, unaweza andika haraka haraka, network najua inasumbua. So let me take a photo of the notes. Ukishaandika we discuss, tuende kwa swali. It's less than a page, so that one you can write very fast. Instead ya network kuleta kichwa hapa, kitatusumbua bure. So I'm sharing just in 1 minute. Natafuta kamera. So kamera, kuja hapa. Yani kidogo hivyo. So check your group. Natuma hapo right away. Intermediate. Hiyo nimetuma. I've shared. It's less than a page. Mwandike haraka. Then once you are done, nikiona watu watatu wamesema done, we go to discussion. Then swali. So do that very fast for me. Maria is done. Who else? Hii class ilikuwa kuna Maria na Marianne. So majority are done. So let's go through the notes. So professional firms are regulated by their professional bodies. Like lawyers are regulated by LSK, the Law Societies of Kenya. Accountants are under ISPAC. Hii doctors inakuwa na wengi kama ni dentist, kuna the dentist board, kuna poisons and I don't know what. They have so many, and even engineers wako na yao. So professional firms are regulated by their professional bodies, which provides guidelines on how to prepare and maintain books of accounts, including the client's accounts. So there are some terminologies which we need to familiarize ourselves with. We have work in progress. It represents the portion of work that remained incomplete at the end of the reporting period. So kama ni lawyer alikuwa na case, hiyo case amefanya mpaka imebaki tu maybe one judgment. So from the estimation, it is 90% complete. So that 90%, that is the work in progress. Ile kazi ijafanywa hapo. Changes in work in progress. So changes here is the closing and opening. So ukianza mwaka kuna kesa huko umefanya ama kuna waka huko umefanya, at the end also there is something you have not done. So that is the changes. The closing minus the opening work in progress should be recognized in the profit/loss account during the financial period under consideration. However, closing work in progress should be recognized as current assets. Yeah, it is your current asset because you expect to receive something out of it. Disbursements. This represents the amount that a professional firm incurs on behalf of the client with insufficient funds with the firm. So Jacqueline, that is Jacqueline Kamau, if you are my lawyer, naweza kupatia pesa. Nakwambia, in case of anything, please you proceed with the case. Then you will tell me how much you have used to balance the two of us. So wewe kana hiyo pesa. Hiyo nimeenda hiyo story ingine. If you are my lawyer, you can incur on my behalf. You can incur on my behalf if I don't have sufficient money with you. Sometimes I do give you to incur on my behalf. Sometimes I don't have any money. So I can tell you, please, Wakili, you just start the work, I'll see what to do. So if you incur any cost on behalf of the client, then that is called disbursement. Then the client will reimburse. There is difference between disbursement and reimbursement. So disbursement, you incur on their behalf, then later on they will reimburse you. So before reimbursement, it is treated as a current asset because it is receivable. When you incur on my behalf, you will bill me, so it is receivable. Cost of bill journal is a document which records all the disbursements incurred on behalf of the client. So all the amount which the professional firm has incurred on behalf of their client, we record them in a special document known as the cost of bill journal. So listen to this. Examiner, another to piga chenga kidogo, instead of telling us that disbursement for the period was 10 million, anakuambia the cost of bill journal amounted to this. So the amount which is in the cost of bill journal is the disbursement, and it is treated as a current asset because it is receivable. The main source of income for the professional firms is the fees or cost charged to the client. So ukisikia cost, professional fees charged, that is the main source of income. Let's go to illustration. Get out your past papers. So get out your past papers for me. November 2018, there's a question there waiting for us. Question 5B. Question 5B. I'm there already. Yes, I believe you are there. Can one person confirm, please, that you are there? One person to confirm for me. Yes, those that's confirmed. So it says, and I read, the following trial balance was extracted from the books of DD Associates, a firm of advocates, as at 30th September 2018. So we have cost charged to clients on civil cases, criminal cases, oaths, conveyance fees, preparation of wills. So those are the source of income for this firm. Cases in progress. Cases in progress represents the work in progress. Client's accountant, money held on behalf of client. So client amepatia pesa, kitu kitokewe lipa hizo vitu. I don't want stress. Then accounts payable, accounts receivable, general office expenses, furniture fittings and lip books, cash at the bank, client account, and office. Capital. So hold on. Hapo kwa cash at bank, client account you are seeing there is 744. Also, when you go up there, the client's money held, you will see also 744 on the credit side, while the bank is appearing on the debit. So what happens? The client's money which you are holding, Maria, the question is here. The client's money which you are holding should be treated both as an asset and a liability at the same time. On what if assumption? What if, kama in law firm, what if they win the case? Hiyo pesa watapokea. If they lose the case, they should refund the money. So Oliver says page 67. So the client's money, even during our presentation, in case we are going to be required to prepare the balance sheet, the client's money you are holding, you should treat it two-way, as an asset and a liability on what if. What if we lose the case? If we lose the case, we bring it as a liability. If we win the case, we bring it as an asset. So that's why in the trial balance, it's appearing in credit and on the credit side, debit side. We have we have capital, disbursements on behalf of clients, treated as a current asset, drawings, salaries to office staff, rent and rates, postage and telephone, printing and stationery. Additional information, it is estimated that debts amounting to 165 might not be collected and should be written off. Those are bad debts written off. Depreciation should be provided at the rate of 20% per annum on the book value of furniture, fittings, and library books. Cases in progress as at 30th September 2018 were valued at 705. So that is the closing work in progress. Required statement of comprehensive income for the year ended 30th September 2018 and the statement of financial position. So let's start with the statement of comprehensive income. So they are calling themselves DD Associates. Statement of comprehensive income for the year ended for the year ended 30th September 2018. So have that. So shillings are in thousands. So you bring here cost charged to client, which is the professional fees. So cost charged to clients. You don't need to mention all of them by name, just add, but show us the addition. 4250 plus 2450 plus 260 plus 340 plus 200. Those are the costs charged to client, and that is the main source of their income. So give me that total, please. $7,500, thank you. Then work in progress, you subtract, you take closing minus opening. You know what in progress? So if at the beginning it was 50 and then this is 60, it means during this year there was 10 for this year, the increase. So the increase in work in progress, you bring it as part of income here. So you bring here work in progress. So WIP, you add closing work in progress. So closing work in progress is the one in note number 3, 705. then you less opening work in progress. So opening work in progress is 1104. Please subtract, then you tell me, not a decrease. Come on, a decrease, fine, we are going to subtract. So negative 399. Therefore, total income, if it's positive, you add. Total income for this farm will be 75 minus 399. What do you get? You get 78.99. Yes, it should go down. 7101, Olivia. 7101. It should go down. We are subtracting. Then less expenses. So less expenses incurred by this farm. So the expenses, top down, expenses should always be on the debit side of the trial balance. So check the debit. I'm seeing general office expenses. So there is general office expenses. General office expenses, 255. 255. Furniture no, cash no, capital no, disbursement no, drawings no, salaries to office staff, yes. So give us here salaries. Where are the salaries? What does one get office staff? Why can I the difference in the staff? So salaries 2160. Rent and rates. So rent and rates. That one we have 1800. Then postage and telephone. Postage and telephone 546. Printing and stationery. Printing and stationery 1050. That is 1050. Additional information. Number one, there is bad debts written off. Bad debts written off. That is an expense, 165. We have depreciation. So depreciation, that is 20% on furniture and the rest. Furniture, what furniture? Okay, the value of furniture is 1350. So 20% of 1350. No, give me 20% of 1350. to 70, thank you. And I think that was the last one. So add for me all the expenses. Yeah, there is no any other expense. So can you add for me all the expenses, please? $62.46, thank you. $62.46. Therefore, net profit, those people are reporting net profit. Net profit is how much? Net profit is 855. Thank you. 855. Let's go to the statement of financial position, unless someone has a concern. So have that arrangement. People are ready. So non-current assets, furniture, furniture, fittings, and library books. Furniture, fittings, and live books. So depreciation was 20%, which gave us 270. So take 1350 minus the 270 depreciation. The cost is 1350 minus depreciation of 270. What do you get? What do you get? $1080. Then that was the only non-current asset we had. So current assets. So current assets, we have cash at bank. So cash at bank, clients, they will be both 744. Then office is now the cash for the farm. Iliad family, it has nothing to do with the clients. So office, they have 1671. Then we have disbursements. Disbursement we say is an asset because you paid for people who have not paid you back. They have not reimbursed you. So disbursements. Disbursements, we have 360. 360. Then after disbursements, we have receivables. So accounts receivable. So accounts receivable, we have 2440 minus bad debts. There was one bad debt of 165 in note 1. So subtract the bad debts. 2440 minus the bad debts, what do you get? $22.75. So I can't see anything else. So can you add for me all the current assets? And by extension, get the total. Oh, nimewacha work in progress. Closing work in progress is your asset. Sorry for that. So work in progress. You take the closing. So you come out to specify. At the end, you know, balance sheet is prepared at the end of the year. So you pick the closing work in progress of 3705. So add, then you give us the total assets. Nifanyie hiyo kazi. Compare the two figures, you use comma, this comma, that. So we know the first one is current, then total. Do for me that. Right. Thank you. So 57, 55. 57, 55. Then total is 68, 35. 68, 35. Thank you. Capital and liabilities. Capital and liabilities. Capital and liabilities. So start with the capital itself. Capital 6220. Then you add net profit to add net profit. So net profit, we go up pale 855. You less drawings. So less drawings. You less drawings. Drawings. We have drawings of 1800. So net capital is how much? Net capital is how much? $52.75. Current liabilities, there was accounts payable. Accounts payable. So accounts payable. Accounts payable is 816. Client's money held. Client's money held ilikuwa 744. Pesa ya wenyewe si yako. So that is 744. And those are the only two which I can see. So can you add the same thing, bring it here, then give me the total capital and liabilities. Total capital and liabilities, this figure, if it is balancing total assets, you just tell me balancing. So give me this then, comma, balancing or not balancing. So do for me that. Ruth, 1560, then balancing. So balancing is 68.35. I think subjecting you another question right now is Maria alikane kwa roho. Yeah, I know some people were not aware we're supposed to get up to 9, but at least tumesonga. So I just want to make some clarifications. There's a question najua mnaweza fanya. Na kuna yenye najua mwezi fanya. So the one which you can do is the one I wanted to show you here, but it has decided to disappear. Yeah. Yes. That's decided to disappear. Shauri yake. Bas now, hizo maswali zinakuanga very easy. Hata hiyo yenyewe na watafutia, I think the 2015, yes, party of 2015 is just the same. But there is a question they brought in pilot paper 2021. That one, if they dare to bring, students wananichukia, wanasema sasa class tunafunza vitu nyepesi. Exam very dangerous. So there is this question, which I cannot even start now. There's this question, which lazima, nisipofanya sitakuwa at peace with my heart, is for doctors. Oh, by the way, before the revision of syllabus in 2021, we were only doing lawyers, the advocates, accounts, we were not bothered with accountants, doctors, and engineers. So in the pilot paper of 2021, they brought a question on, they brought a question on doctors. So if in any case they bring for engineers or audit firm, just use the same approach. They use the same wordings, everything is the same. So I cannot leave without doing that one. It's for our next class. And I will request you to your class next to answer exactly 6. Because the last semester when we tried to do that question, is very wide. It can even refuse to end in one class. It's very, very wide. In fact, I want you to check on it. Kupitisha too much on your money, what we are expecting in the next class. No, before that, mko na assignment. Hebu tuende kwa assignment kwanza. Nimepata swali mnaweza nifanyia hapa by the way. Ebu open August 2022. So Maria tufanye swali, I'm just giving you. Mtu anapata August 2022 atuambie page. My paper is not like yours, just like very current. August 2022, question 4B. This is your assignment. August 2022. August 2022, question 4B. August 2022, question 4B. Who has gotten it? Please tell us the page. August 2022, question 4B. Who has gotten the page? Page 20. You sure? Page 20. Kila mtu akue hapo. Haya. Nataka tu tuangalie. Maria, page 20. I just want us to check. And I'm just going to pick random. Uniambie kama it is something you can do or you require us to do. So randomly, I'll request Ruth, Marianne Ibrahim, and Naomi. You tell me whether it's a question you can attempt. You'll be a representative of others. Eric, another class in a few minutes actually. So tell me whether it's something you can handle. Cost charge to clients. It is page 24. Okay, page 24. I just want us to have a look. Kila mtu angalie. You tell me, Mwalimu, this one is dangerous. Because I just even find it was almost the same. Check, then you tell me. Then what's on your assignment? That was the one, that's not assignment, that's the one we'll do in our next class. Lazima mmepitisha macho. Iko sawa? Do we need to do it in class? That one. Is it August 2022? Question 4B. Kama nimeona gani? Nimeona hiyo. Kama pepa yangu inasoma nini? August 2022. Yes. August 2022. Ruth, question 4B. Yes, that one. Na pages, nani Joshua akisema page 24, kuna kitu Maria anaandika hapo. Page 24. Page 5. Oh. So maybe the pages are different. So Olivia page 5, Maria page 5. So you check page 5, Ruth. Though ni Joshua anasema it's doable, ama who said? Somebody who has said this is doable. Yes, Joshua says it is doable. 2 more people to give me a comment on it. Ruth, very much doable. You can even balance. Maria, you can try it. That is okay. So the question I want us to do in our next class is this one. Hiyo mnaweza fanya. You can have balance, you can consult me, lakini najua mtai balance. December 2021, andika hapo. December 2021. December 2021. Pilot paper. December iko na 2 sittings. Kuna pilot and the real sitting. So be specific. Pilot. Pilot is a paper which is always brought when syllabus has changed to show students how the exam will be examined. So pilot, be specific. December 2021, pilot paper, question 2B, B for boy. Question 2B. Yeah, that one. Hiyo ikikuja watu watakasirika vibaya sana. So in our next class, let's meet, that is on Monday, God willing. Let's meet at exactly 6 a.m. Tuone kama by 8 sharp tunaweza kuwa tumemaliza. It's a very long question. It has a lot, ikunifurahisha when we're doing in class. There's a lot of unnecessary information, but they can bring in exam. So let's meet Monday at exactly 6. Andrew, pilot paper 2021. Pilot paper 2021. Question 2B. B for boy. Wanajiita Dr. Jacinta. So otherwise, thank you so much for creating time. So this one I'm sharing. Madam is saying, can we have makeup classes on Saturday? No, leo ni gani? Leo ni Saturday. Madam, leo ni Saturday. Ama, which one is Miriam? Please don't log out. Why don't you solve it and Miriam? Leo ni Saturday. Ama, which one, Miriam? Maybe you can specify. Then there is, I'm informed, there is a holiday on Friday next week. Tutakuwa na class yetu asubuhi as usual. So you can. Today is Saturday. We make it permanent. This is permanent, but mwisho ya mtihani. This one would change unless otherwise maybe another particular something beyond me. Ile ya kawaida, but the class hiyo nimeshaweka permanent. Yeah, this one is every Saturday. Itakuwa hivi. It should run up to 9. Ni venye tu niliona some of you are not prepared. This one will be running every Saturday. Ndio tumalize mapema. You know me, what I'm doing? I'm pressed between 2 things. Between the quality, the content quality and time. So I'm trying to balance those 2. So kumaliza tutamaliza. If we put this Saturday tutamaliza. Tutaongeza hiyo ina shida. So thank you so much. Do have a good night. We'll meet on Monday for further fellowship. Check those questions.